Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, sporting a perfect professional record, 2 victories, no defeats, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing at 135 pounds, fighting out of Syracuse, New York. Here is Tim
Fargo! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his pro debut, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing at 134 pounds, from Fort Maine. He is the former New England Fights featherweight amateur champion, Teddy Spaghetti Politis! And the referee in charge of the action, Dale Hart.
It always surprises me with nicknames, too. I don't think I've ever heard another fighter with a spaghetti nickname, but it fits. Teddy Spaghetti.
I love it.
Teddy Politis. Tim Fargo. Bantamweight bout here as we continue our pro card. Politis looks game and dangerous and ready.
As I was saying, this one stylistically is fun because, as we got the shot, Tim gets it to the ground. Now Teddy, his whole game is submissions. He loves the submissions. He's a gamer. He's a submission hunter. So we're gonna see, this is where he wants to be on the ground, not necessarily underneath Tim Fargo, but on the ground in general. He's going for that Kimura. He's trying to break the grip. I don't know if that's gonna be something you can do with Tim.
Yeah, Fargo again looking to go to 3-0. One finished by submission. He's a wrestler through and through. So his gym's getting stronger and stronger. One of his teammates picking up a victory last weekend, too, hoping to make it 2-0 in respective weekends.
And this is another grueling up against the cage. This is gets the takedown. Tim's all over him. He's looking for that back. He's going to get that. There's the first hook.
Let's see what Fargo can do. Oh,
second hook.
Excellently done. You wonder if that's the experience on the amateur level, but also now having some good time in the cage as a professional, too.
Absolutely. Those rounds that he goes all the way, or the fights that he goes all the way, those add a lot of experience to a fighter.
Fargo, not a man of a lot of words, very few to be in fact. Talking with him at a press conference, doesn't say much. You know as well too. He likes to let his actions in the cage do the talking.
Absolutely.
But such a nice man. Just wants to go in there and scrap.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it watching his fights that he's he's a sweetheart in real life. He's going to take that back again. He's going to look for that choke.
Well, he's just trying to get back onto his feet. Unable to do so. Fargo just stretching him out.
This is very demoralizing being on bottom.
How much does this drain you, though, too? Always just trying to defend and just trying to get off. I know this guy, they weighed in at 135 pounds yesterday, too, but that's still grueling to try to have to defend this.
Yeah, for sure. They're the same weight, close at least, and depends on how much. It looks like Fargo puts on a lot of weight back on after the weight cut, so I'm sure this is miserable for Teddy.
Fargo looks like he's actually packed on some more muscle, too. If you see his backs on some of the camera shots, too, it just looks like
just absolutely shredded.
Yeah.
Absolutely shredded.
Which you'd imagine has to be the case, too, with his size at 135 pounds yesterday.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's a whole lot of fat to cut. So,
how much did you cut normally?
Normally it was around 20 pounds.
20 pounds?
So I would imagine it's probably close to 20, 25, 30 pounds for Fargo. Especially if they're doing it really, if he's got a nutritionist.
Yeah.
This is just insane pressure.
You can see
he's going to look for a Darce or an Anaconda here. He's got the guillotine. No arm. Yeah, he's tapping.
All done. And it's all over. Tim Fargo has now made New England Fights his home, and he is the alpha of the bantamweight division, the professional ranks in New England Fights. Step up to him.
It's a very systematic way, that Tim fights. He goes in there, he knows what he wants, he wrestles. He doesn't care. The crowd often is they don't like grappling as much, right? And he doesn't care. He doesn't let the crowd tell him what he's going to do. He goes in there with a game plan. He's going to wrestle them, and he's going to submit them.
Teddy Spaghetti, Politis instantly tapped too, because that was sunk in, and it was sunk in deep and quick.
Yeah, Tim's got to have a strong grip.
Tim Fargo's come now from Syracuse, New York, down, which is no easy. You don't fly as the crow flies. You got to go down all the way to Massachusetts and back up again. I made the trek. It's not a fun one. He does it, and he's done it 3 times now, but it's always so sweeter when you drive back with another W in your back pocket. Could show respect there, but Fargo is a problem for the bantamweight division. We'll see what's next for Tim Fargo. Likely a nickname. We got to come up with something good for him too, because he deserves it.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dale Hart has called a halt to the action at 3 minutes, 13 seconds in the first round. Declare the winner by submission to the guillotine choke, Tim Fargo. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Tim Fargo. Tim, 3-0, 3-0 inside the NEF cage. Tim, what's next for you?
I don't plan too far ahead of my fights normally, so we'll have to figure it out now that it's done.
Was that what you were trying to game plan for? Were you looking for the submission, or were you trying to take it wherever it may go?
Go wherever it may go, because 2 of my other teammates have fights coming up too, so we've been working on everything from every position, so we're ready everywhere.
Nice. Congratulations, everyone. Tim Fargo, 3-0.
Well, iron sharpening iron. That's one of the great things, too, about being part of the gym, too, that's so active, is that you'll be training for different fights and different promotions, too, and different stylistic side. Sometimes you're going to be that scout fighter that's going against trying to show off some different things, but that'll also give you that clarity to maybe train more for a striker, for a grappler, wrestler. And, hey, it's worked out swimmingly for Tim Fargo.